I fucking hate this game. You know, it's really not too often I hate an RPG. Usually, if an RPG isn't gonna appeal to me, I won't pick it up because it's not going to appeal to me. You know, a game like Disgaea, for example, that doesn't appeal to me, so therefore I'm not gonna play it. But this game, fuck this game. There is so many things wrong with this game. I don't even know how to review it. Can I review it? Is it possible for me to review this? I just don't even know where to begin. First of all, you can't even fucking review the plot, because all I can really say for you is this game has the worst plot twist I think I've ever played in a video game. The worst. The story, up to a certain point, it has potential. It sounds epic. They really, you know, hype it up, and it just hits this point, and the whole story just goes like this. It's just a fucking train wreck. It's a fucking disaster. Star Ocean 1 on Super Famicom. I had the pleasure of playing through that on an emulator back when I was, you know, very young. So probably when, you know, I was in middle school, high school, 8th grade, 9th grade. Great game. Fantastic game. Good RPG. Star Ocean: The Second Story. Have not finished it, but from what I have played so far, it is a pretty damn good game. A worthy, you know, sequel to Star Ocean 1 on Super Famicom. This shit, oh my god. There are just so many things I hate about this game. There are so many things. And you might ask, why finish it then? You know, why play through it? Because, like I said, I had enjoyed it up to a certain point. The battle system is actually, you know, for me, I've said this in the past, but a battle system can really save an RPG and make it worth playing through, I think. Case in point, Arc Rise Fantasia. Mediocre story, mediocre voice acting, but a great fucking battle system. Worth playing through, in my opinion, for that reason and for that reason alone. And like I said, the plot has potential up to a point. And by the time you reach that point, you're already so far in, you might as well finish the goddamn game. Because that's the way I am, you know. With an RPG, it's a time investment. It's a real big time investment. And you need, once you know, if I just didn't finish the game, what's the point of, you know, I just wasted 30 hours or X amount of hours, you know, whenever the plot twist happens. And it happens, you know, pretty deep into the game. So I just said fucking finish the game, because this game and we go back. I had gotten this when it had became Greatest Hits. So this is going back, I don't even know how long. I had played through it up to a certain point. I think I reached a tough boss. I put it down for a little while because I got tired of it. Then I had picked it up like a year or two ago or something like that. Played through it again, got to almost the end of the game, got to a difficult boss, stopped playing it, and then very recently I was like, alright, this game, because it had been staring me in the face. Every time I would look through my PS2 collection, I would see this game and I'd be like, oh, I really need to finish it, but I don't want to finish it. I hate this game. I don't want to play it anymore. I'm tired of it. And so this past week, I had a little bit of time and I finished it. Now, it's not that the game itself is unplayable, you know, but the characters. There is not one likable character, in my opinion. All of these characters are stupid. The voice acting just makes them, I just want to strangle every character every single time they talk, and they always have these stupid expressions on their face. And it's just, the characters are just completely, not one likable character, not even the slightest bit, in my amount, likable or relatable or anything like that. You know, there's some RPGs, like Final Fantasy X, for example. You might not like Titus, you might not like Yuna, at least there's fucking Auron. There's no Auron in this game. There's nothing even close to an Auron. There's not even 0.1% of an Auron in this game. It's just a fucking, oh my god. And it's a game, when my mom had bought it, the guy at GameStop had recommended to get the strategy guide. Thank that, whoever that man is, I wish I could kiss the ground he walks on. Because this is a game you absolutely need the strategy guide for. Not so much for the actual walkthrough itself, per se, But, you know, that it's helpful because it's another annoying nuance about this game is that you don't, when you go to like a new place, the map is completely empty and you have to like fill out the map. So this helps in the aspect of you can kind of find your way around a little bit, but I didn't really use the walkthrough section too much. No, you got to use it for all the fucking side quests, private action bullshit. What the private actions are is you can get a whole bunch of different endings and you develop a quote-unquote relationship, which, you know, how can you have a relationship when your characters are completely one-dimensional is beyond me, but you can, so there's like private actions you can do and you have to go somewhere at a certain point. So there's that, that's a whole section right there. I think it's, you know, these few pages. Then there's mini games and that sort of stuff, yada yada yada. But where this game really started to piss me off was the item creation. Item creation is absolutely, you're not going to beat this game if you do not use item creation. And item creation absolutely sucks. What you have to do is you have to recruit these inventors. So you go around, you'll give them money, you'll give them an item, yada yada yada, that sort of bullshit. And then you have to go to like an inventing lab. And pretty much how it's set up is each person has a level for their skill, like they're an alchemist or something like that, or they're an engineer, or they're smithing. So they'll have a level for that, and they'll have, you know, what their skill is. And so you'll like set it up, you put 3 people, and then you'll try to do like an original creation. And why the strategy guide is so good in this case is because if you're trying to make anything and you don't have, you know, you're not at the end game or past the end game because there's bonus dungeons, which I will not do. I am not doing the bonus dungeons in this game. Fuck that. But, you know, if you want to make, for example, a really good weapon or really good armor, or what the hell is that shit called? It's an alchemy item. It's like orichalcum. What the hell? I don't even know how the fuck to say it. Orichalcum. I don't even know. Who the hell cares? But it's an item that gives you plus 500 for your attack. And quite honestly, I was getting absolutely raped by, well, not raped in terms of I was dying, but like I would go through a battle and I'd have it, you know, my characters would lose a lot of HP or a character would get killed by one attack. Item creation is an absolute necessity if you want to, you know, not be reloading saves, especially against the final boss and things like that. But the problem with the item creation is that your guys will fucking fail at making items so much that you will just waste all of your money. I had like over 1 million, I think it's called FOL or something like that. I forget, who cares? 1 million Star Ocean money, or whatever you want to call it. And it costs like 5,000 to make that plus 500 attack item. But the problem is you're not going to be able to always successfully create it. So what I ended up doing for a damn long time was I saved at an inn by a lab, and then I would go to the lab, and if I didn't create the item by a certain amount of turns, because like each turn that you go through while you're trying to invent something, you lose the 5,000 gold or FOL or whatever the hell it's called. And, you know, if you don't do this, you will run out of money if you're trying to create any sort of competent equipment that will get you through the end game. Because this game has a pretty steep learning curve, I would say. So that is an absolute necessity, not to mention that once, let's say I made the plus 500 attack item, you can refine it so you can like duplicate it. So one item will have like, it'll be the plus 500 attack, but it'll be multiplied like 4 times or something like that. So it'll have like it'll be listed multiple times, and that's another way that they can drain your cash. And I don't really understand how this works because, all right, I can understand for the initial creation of the item, you know, there being failures and things like that because, you know, think about it in a real world sense. They haven't invented it yet, so, you know, there's going to be failures before you have this success. But when you're actually trying to refine it and just duplicate it, you know, shouldn't that be successful most of the time? You know, I don't really understand, oh, you have the item, you have the blueprint. it shouldn't be that hard to duplicate the... There's just so many problems with this game, in my opinion, and it's... is it worth playing through? I don't know. At this point, you know, maybe when the game initially had come out, I would say, well, it's new, it might be worth playing. But at this point, there's way better, tons better RPGs available on PS2. So get those. I don't see why you would get this. It really has a pretty steep learning curve, I would say, too, you know. Just initially, when you first start out, you will die, you know, maybe not a lot, especially if you're an RPG, you know, veteran, you played a lot of RPGs, but for someone, let's say, you know, they don't play RPGs too much, they're in GameStop one day and they see this game, and they're like, oh, well, I like people with blue hair, so they pick it up, and they're in for a fucking trip. They really are, because this game, there's a lot of difficulty spikes, and it's not so much a game where you necessarily need to grind, which, by the way, doesn't take that long, thankfully, but leveling up doesn't really increase your stats too much. There's like another system where you get like skill points, and you have to allocate those skill points to like HP, MP, attack and defense, that sort of stuff. But and the level cap isn't even 100. I think the level cap is like 255 or something like that. Like, who would ever play this game for more than, you know, I think I put almost 70 hours in, and that's because I was doing, you know, trying to get all the inventors, because I did not want to go through that final dungeon and not be able to beat that final boss. I kicked that final boss's ass, and I made damn well sure I kicked that final boss's ass. And the ending was just the dumbest thing. There was like an ending, and then they showed the credits, and then for like 20 minutes afterwards, they had a whole bunch of scenes, and I just didn't care. I was just so ecstatic that I had finally beaten this game, because it, like I said, it had been staring me in the face for a while. But don't play it now. There's absolutely no reason to play it. If you really want to play a Star Ocean game, I highly recommend either getting the PSP remakes of the first two games, or finding a copy of Second Story on PS1, or, you know, emulating Star Ocean on Super Famicom. You know, no one cares about that game at this point. Or, you know, if you even want to play, you know, a modern one, just play Star Ocean 4. I'm sure it's not much different than this. This game was just a massive disappointment, in my opinion. And, you know, I'm never going to play it again. I absolutely guarantee it. I would probably play Final Fantasy 13 before I played this through again. And that's saying something, because I am not playing Final Fantasy 13 through ever again. Fuck that game. It's just... there's so much room for improvement, and they just suck. I'm sorry. Not a good game. Not the worst RPG I've played. I've played plenty of worse RPGs, but I think this is the worst RPG I've played on PS2. Yeah, definitely. Fuck this game. Fuck it. Nice, long